Hello, it is Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. It's time for the lower body workout. First, as always, I want to say, unless you have a very specific reason to watch this, it will be a waste of your time. Probably. Anyway, so that being said, start the warm-up. Already stretched out a bit. Now it's time to do the warm-up, which consists of 3 L-shaped chin-ups and then 4 glide downs, which is just the eccentric exercise, jumping up near the bar, gliding down. L-shape coming up times 3 repetitions. That's all. It's just warm-up. Get myself into the L shape. All right. Now, the glide down. Here's number 4. All right, that near the end bit on that one was kind of weak. So now 13 push-ups with 7 squats and 6 what I call bend downs. Yeah, that looks like the spot. All right. Got some special push-up things. Let me go a little bit deeper. Also, what I'm trying to do, I think it's important, I'm not sure. Let's try to fully extend my arms. See if I can kind of push my shoulders forward. Hopefully I'll be able to see myself do that in this. Alright. Like here and then there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Whew. Now the squats. Trying to keep my heels on the floor too. Part of that, I guess, is putting my arms out a little bit, but kind of like putting my arms behind my head. Somehow it feels more effective. 4, 5, 6. Here we come, number 7. All right, definitely breathing, definitely feeling it. Gonna try to keep my knees straight. Three, 4, 5, 6. Hopefully my count's good on all those, but it might not be. That's okay, it's just a warm-up. Definitely feeling it. If you're breathing like this in the warm-up, you're probably out of shape. No. Just means I'm doing a good job. I can feel the blood coming into the muscles. Little trick for my tripod. One hand easily just tightens it up a bit. I can make the corners, and I can open it up with that one hand too. Nice light tripod. Okay. All right, for this, yeah, that seems about right. All right, well, we'll go right there. So that's 5 minutes worth of warm-ups. Notice no breathing exercises between the warm-ups. For this thing, though, there'll be a lot of breathing exercises. This is legs. So for stuff like this, trying to go about that far, not quite. That feels weird at 90 degrees. As soon as I get near 90 degrees, that's the feeling I want right there. That kind of, for the split squats. Single leg, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't work like that. Got all my weight kind of pre-set up ahead of time. Also have the script all written out. A good actor follows a script. Not necessarily a good actor, not necessarily an actor. Although I wouldn't mind to be. It seems like the job would be a lot of fun. Also seems like it would be a lot of pressure. But I don't know, maybe good, I don't know about good actors. Maybe they don't follow scripts. Maybe they do. I'll probably never find out. But what I will find out is these split squats, how 8 of these are gonna feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we're gonna switch sides on this. Definitely feeling it. Gonna put my foot roughly the same difference. I'm using the bench as my backstop for my other foot. Feels a little bit more secure than the little chair I've been using. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, number 8. There we go. Number 8. Doesn't seem like much, but it certainly feels like it. All right. So next set is going to be a set of 10. That's the good news about leg day. According to the script, which I pre-wrote ahead of time, just check my numbers. Setting up for the next set right now. But we'll do a little bit of talking because I didn't do my breathing exercises right before the first set. I should have. So let's breathe. For these workouts, I've been using a couple different counting methods. Only 2 counting methods. There's a whole bunch of counting methods. You can count your head visually, you can count your head auditorily, you can count by heartbeats, you can count by how many steps if you're doing a stepping and breathing exercise, what I would sometimes call a walking meditation. The easiest one to fall into is 4 steps breathe in, 4 steps hold, 4 steps breathe out, 4 steps hold. Basically your box breathing with a walking element into it without using seconds, but using footsteps. Sometimes it's cool with heartbeats. All sorts of weird stuff. And once you get into 4-4-4, you can do all sorts of, or 4-4-4-4, you can do all sorts of different numbers. I've done weird ones where I'm doing like 13 and 7, and then like 6 and 7, and all sorts of just fun stuff. And playing around and see what my body likes. Certain numbers make me feel nauseous. Certain numbers make me feel great. Experiment. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna breathe anyway. You might as well find fun ways to do it. There's so many levels of breathing. Getting to that, I've been slacking on doing the Wim Hof stuff, but thank you for suggesting that and getting me set up with that. You, one person that should be watching this video, and there's probably two people I think in the world that not necessarily should. One should, the other I thank you just for voluntarily watching this, and I'm voluntarily doing this because should I even answer that question? Should I explain why I'm doing this? Well, imagine this. You're a hard-headed version of me, and you're gonna work out hard, and you look at yourself and you don't like what you see, so you want to change it. But you also want to stick to your guns mentally, philosophically. You're not gonna, full disclosure, I do use creatine, but beyond creatine, you're not gonna do anything else. Oh yeah, caffeine. I do use caffeine, appetite suppressant. So I'm also doing like fasting too. So like a 20-hour fast, Monster, the zero sugar stuff, the 0 calorie stuff. That's what I use as far as dietary aid. I don't know. It definitely helps with the cravings. So like there'll be certain times if I'm doing my last meal at 9 p.m., my first meal is going to be at 5 p.m. There's somewhere around the 10 a.m. to like 11:59 a.m. Area, that hour and 59 minutes, that's like, oh, my body wants to eat, and it's letting me know. And having an energy drink or two during that time period really helps. It's a crutch, I know it. There's no limit to my weakness. It's just, but I'm pushing forward, weakness and all. I'm not up against anyone other than myself. But anyway, the explanation is this: you're me. Somebody says, well, I'm interested in what you do. Could you please document it? I'm like, no, why, weird, what? And this person says, well, you might be very stubborn, but even you, if you document this, you will have more accountability, you will do a better job, and since you hold no accountability with anybody else, no one really holds domain over you too well. And nobody in your life is going to force you to do this. I say double up the accountability on yourself. I'll watch these things. But knowing, even if I don't, that you put it out and you've agreed with me to put this out. The agreement's all you need. And that person was very right. So I'm doing something that's giving me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. I see these videos. I haven't uploaded last week's Friday and this week's Monday yet, but I did see, because I had to do some editing on the Friday one. Had to break it into, it was broken into 2 pieces because I had an important phone call. Anyway, putting it together. I am not in the shape I think I am. I need to get in the better shape. The person, the image of me in my mind does not match the image of me I see on the screen, and that does not feel good, but at the same time, it's very important. It's one of those things today. 10 o'clock rolled around, and I remembered that image from looking at it and like putting the video together beforehand, and I was just like, nope. Not gonna cheat, although I have cheated before. Cheating on myself. The only person I'm hurting is myself, and I'm getting short-term happiness or fulfillment because of it. But it's like every day you stick to that 20-hour fast. Every day you stick to that 20-hour fast. I don't know if it gets a little easier, because there's been some times where it's been super easy. And then, but like when it's hard, getting into the practice of dealing with it being hard and coming out the other side successfully of that feels pretty good. Anyway, so that's the explanation. That's me talking. I should be taking a break from anywhere from 90 seconds to 5 minutes in between sets That's fulfillment right there. But anything beyond 5 minutes, and I might be cheating myself again. So, weight's already set. I'm gonna do a set of 10. There we go. All right, we're gonna start right foot this time. We're gonna use the bench as the backstop yet again. I was almost tempted to use the little chair as the backup. Get my foot in a good spot behind me, not flounder around too much. Also, when I angle my wrists down like this, it feels better somehow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And moving my body, the main core of my body in different spots. I don't know where it's best, but I noticed in that one, I was getting a little bit squirrely with it. 1, 2, oh, that feels good. 3, 4, I can go down deep on this one. 5, ooh, not that deep. 6, yep. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that was a leaning issue right there. Doesn't look like much. Feels worse than it looks. All right, so we stick to this weight pattern. This exercise, that exercise that you just saw, that was only 2 sets. Next exercise is going to be Romanian deadlift. Anyway, oh goodness, what was I saying before? Well, let's go into, started that with breathing, then it went to an explanation where there should not be one. But anyway. All right, so yeah, what do you say we breathe? Oh, by the way, the other 2 hand methods that I've been using for this video, fingertips and single finger, tip of finger, first knuckle, second knuckle, base, second knuckle, first knuckle, tip of finger. Both of those equal 7. The cool thing is you can do all sorts of fun stuff with this. You could do 7 and go back and forth, and you end up getting like 13. A lot of fun there. Partial because you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, which is kind of fun. Same thing with the fingertip method. If you go back and forth, you get a nice number like 13. That's if you go back and forth twice. That was, let's breathe. Romanian deadlift using dumbbells, not using a bar and weight. Just feels easier this way. Well, logistically it's a lot easier. Maybe it's doing more, maybe it's doing less, I'm not sure. Do a set of 8, that is 2, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Important thing about that one is I'm actually trying to purposely push my butt backwards a little bit. Has nothing to do with power. Don't even go there with that joke. No, what it is less strain on the weakest parts of your back. So for back health, I think going backwards, even if it's just a little bit backwards, you know, I think it's a safety thing, a careful human thing. I'm not exactly certain, but I know it does feel like less strain on your lower back. And I don't think I've felt really with any of these exercises, I felt anything too weird on lower back. Upper back, yes. There's been a couple days I've gone too hard, felt it specifically, just like, whoa. But nothing too bad. There's been no, what I would consider injury bad enough. There's a little bit of soreness, yeah, but no real injury, especially anything bad enough to make you skip a day. By the way, this is only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's it, that's all. Part of the philosophy on this is the whole thing behind the script, and doing things like intermittent fasting, doing things like meditation, breathing, all that kind of stuff. Experimenting with the food. The food's a different variable. There's some emphasis on macronutrients, but I'm still playing around with ideas. I still haven't found my, far from the optimal, let's put it that way. Yeah, let's just sit back. I like sitting on this and doing the breathing. But yeah, there's a lot of experiments to this experiment. And the workouts, it's kind of funny. The workout's important, but the level of your body being affected by food versus working out, food, for me, at least my human form, this body that I have, seems like it's far more affected by food than it is by the working out. So if I don't get my food dialed in right, aka I don't do an intermittent fast, and then B, don't hit my macros right, C, don't include vegetables into that mix. Vegetables are a very important part of that mix. It seems like for me, so far, and there's no real concrete evidence to this, but all evidence for my body is it really likes doing well with vegetables. Although, because if you're trying to get, 100 grams of carbohydrate in a day, try doing that with broccoli. I cannot eat enough broccoli to get 100 grams of carbohydrate just from broccoli alone. Sauces help. But yeah, sauces contain sugar and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely not perfect. Okay, breathing. Oh, by the way, a note on details. For these, I'm doing mostly in nose, out nose, not in nose, out mouth. I've heard good things about in nose, out nose. So, trying that. Also, I like focusing on these details because some of them might be obscure. Like, really, you care so much about your breathing? That's cool. You breathe in between sets. So does everybody. But you actually make a point of it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And I could totally be wrong about this, but I think it helps. I think it gives my body energy and fix it up better to break it down better. I don't know. Maybe that's the way of it. That's what I hope. That's what I'm hypothesizing. Experimental group of one, control group of past. So not a true experiment in the sense, but I think information can be gained by this. Anyway, so details, yeah. So I'm going into and that's also part of getting interested in this, getting excited about this. Going into the details, writing up that script ahead of time based upon the Wednesday prior. I'm trying to get excited about it, and sometimes subjectively, delusionally happy. How's that for something fun? I choose to be delusional in my happiness. Even if it's delusional, I choose to be happy. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Okay, so here we go, doing the breaths. breath might be good. Romanian deadlifts, set of 10. I might have thrown an extra one in there. I was getting a good feeling from the bend. The bend felt about right, so I went with it. Took it a bit further, grabbing the script. All right. This is leg extension. I already got the things set up in the right way ahead of time. We're 27 minutes into this workout. I think there was at least one time where I did it in 20. Different, lesser warm-up though, and probably lesser breathing, and lesser talking. Yeah, we're all set up there. Everything's set here. All right, let's get it done. Oh, there's the spot. Oh. All right, no reason. Oh, well, breathing. Yeah, I guess. Oh, by the way, doing fingertips. So if you watch the hand, that's one, goes all the way back up to 7. Let's do this thing. Sub 10, by the way. Here's the funny thing about this stuff. Part of what I'm doing with the script is one exercise, one set of one exercise gets upped every week. Last week, since there's 2 sets of everything in this workout, the lower bodies, everything's 2 sets. But the last exercise is single calf raises. So I raised the first set by a few pounds. This week, I'm sticking with that, and because you're always just going up, you're never really backing down unless you really, really need to. The second set, I'm going to raise by basically the same amount. So I'm consistently doing that build. So I'm figuring with these 2 years, eventually I'll hit a wall on some exercises. I might be near the wall on this one. I'm definitely feeling it. Hopefully my body's going to step up. Hopefully everything's kind of set right. I believe if my food intake is set right, my sleep intake is set right, my mental intake is trying to be very choiced about how and when I'm stressed, and also apply liberal amounts of meditation, de-stressing, and stress relaxing things. In other words, yeah, this is not a hardcore workout. This is life taking easy, but consistently going up. And that's the important thing. Consistent going up, getting better. That's what I think is going to happen anyway. So I got to switch the weight out on the stack. That's simple. I already know where I'm going. Didn't even need to consult the script. It's pretty simple methodology there. All right. Then this a bit of breathing, and then it'll be a set of 12. Yeah, the first 2 exercises in this thing, it'll be a set of 8, set of 10, set of 8, set of 10. We've already done that. Then it's a set of 10, set of 12, set of 10, set of 12. We're doing that currently. Third exercise, set of 12. The first set is always the heaviest weight. We're not building up. We're starting out at that. As long as we're warmed up, we're starting at our top end, cycling down, but bringing in just 2 more reps. You know, hey, it's only 2 more reps. Come on. So yeah, this is very doable. Like, this workout is something I can do for a period of 2 years. And even though I've already missed a day, back in the beginning I said, oh, I won't miss a day. Easy. And that's coming from a guy that tried various workouts that were 6 days, 7 days a week. And I think the furthest I've gone might have been 3 months, but that might be the fog of memory. Overestimating my skills, overestimating my perseverance. It might have been as much as 2 months. I remember one time I tried to do it real hardcore with every single aspect of my life. Total stress environment. Going super ridiculous, just putting myself into it. And yeah, I lasted about 10 days on that one. But in all fairness, I even went hardcore in really weird directions, like very little sleep. No fun whatsoever. This phase of my life, I'm allowing myself to have a little fun. Some video games, good books, a lot of reading. Yeah, that's my fun right now. And of course, currently I'm not set up to perform music in front of people, but I'm even scaling back the comedy too. So anyway, don't need to talk about all that. Hopefully the music will come back. Hopefully that'll be a good thing. I think there's 1 or 2 people out there that really enjoy the music that I am a part of. I'm not gonna blaspheme the name of the band I'm in right now, but it's been a couple weeks and I miss it. But sometimes hiatuses are important for regrowth, I hope. I've certainly witnessed it before. A good hiatus, and you come out of the hiatus and you're just ready for it. And the good news about being an unpaid performer, you can take those hiatuses whenever you need to. But I love the idea of taking that hiatus but building the skills behind everything. So yeah, I'm still drumming, I'm still building my skills. When I come back, I'll be even better than I was to start with, which I like my style, but honestly, I want to plug in some holes in my weakness, my timing wise, my swing, scary, covering up everything with double bass. I can shoot holes in my drumming all day. There's a lot of there's a lot of weaknesses to kind of not just patch up, but try to go back, relearn the techniques, do it right. Anyway, enough of that. I think I'm going to do another set of breathing if I haven't already. I've just talked my ear off. There's a lot of talking. I wonder why I'm talking so much today. Set of 12. If you did not notice that, I was really starting to lose it. 9, 10 was the pinnacle of losing it. Almost lost it. Then 11, and just for the hell of it, just to, dude, you almost lost it, but you're done. There was a nice little muscle, kind of just pushing the blood to my muscles on that fullest extension on 12. Just to know I can, just to know I got through it. But yeah, really feeling it. Oh, goodness. Here's another thing I've been theorizing. Slapping the muscles gets blood flow going. Blood flow going is like taking out the trash. Anyway, that's enough of that. We're talking. I'm done talking. I'm back to breathing. Let's get a good angle on this. This will be calf raises. I noticed that I'm not as flighty after a nice set of deep breaths. My brain slows down a little bit, but in a good way. More directed thought, more focused thought. All right, let's get that almost center frame. Center frame on that would be right there. I'm putting it a little bit higher, so I can watch how high and low the weight goes. Also, so I can see if I'm steady. All right, so calf raises. Set of 10. Highest weight first. Doing left and right. Single leg calf raises. There's my weight. Let's go right foot first. like. Oh goodness. All right. Now I'll be a bit of breathing. I'm gonna go into a weird position here. Nice little froggy position. I don't know. Oh. I'm gonna count out these breaths for you. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. It is certainly not the most hardcore workout in the world, but I would be really disappointed in myself if I did not do this one for the agreed upon 2 years. Technically, that agreed upon 2 years could have started in September of 2018, but I'm really getting serious, something perspective-wise, because I actually did the video a bit. Got serious about that and actually putting the video up, like really making myself accountable. That was March. So yeah, March 2021. Not in a hurry to get there. I'm gonna enjoy as much as I can about this moment, and hopefully it'll take a long time getting there, filled with fun and good things. Knock on concrete and metal. And eventually, yeah, there's some wood right there. It'll probably shake the camera. Knock on the wood. 3 cheers for superstition. Okay. We're gonna go left foot first, just because. Why not? That was a good enough break. Okay, my extensions on that. Not going very far. Weird. Okay. Gonna do. Yeah, that was left foot. We're gonna go right foot. I might have accidentally said right foot first. I don't know. I don't remember what I said. That's it, we're done. That is all of it. If you stuck with me thinking this, one of the longer leg workouts I've done in a while. 44 minutes. My goodness. Got my script. Whew. All right. For some silly reason, I like the chat portion of this. Something low pressure's about it. Something truly celebration-wise about this. But first, I am going to end this with the trusty chair, the good old timey chair that gets very uncomfortable if you sit in it too long. All right. Whew. What do you say we end this with some good breaths? All right, talking points. Don't really have any specific thing I really want to talk about. Just maybe I'm overly ambitious about certain things. I have this idea for the perfect day that's like, seems like it's impossible. Because I haven't really ever had one. But somehow that doesn't disappoint. Somehow that inspires me to try to do more. And even when it doesn't get quite perfect, I look at all the good things that happened, all the good things I've done. And yeah, I really buy into it. So there's someone actually asked me for advice, and they were talking about, man, I'm gonna feel so good when I finally get paid to play music. Cool. Then they asked me for advice. Might have been a mistake. And I'm just like, man, if you're waiting to feel good until you get paid to play music, that's like a goal. And that's like a goal that's controlled by other people. And people, in my opinion, are kind of like the ultimate variable in an equation. And if you want that equation to make sense, you minimize the number of variables. So how about this? When you play up to a certain standard and you record and that standard is shown, whatever that standard is, maybe there's a riff that you usually make a mistake on, but you record yourself and you see, okay, I played that out, or even not even play that, I played that, whether it's been like in my practice space all alone or around other people. I played that and I got the level of accuracy in the spot I wanted to get accurate. That was my goal. That's a better goal. That one, the only person, you're minimizing the variables out of it. The more you minimize the variables, the more direct it is. Now, what does that have to do with getting playing music? Well, I told him, if you get those goals right, my thought is all those little goals, if you look at what does it take to get paid to play music, and then you have a whole bunch of little goals, little check boxes that you're like, oh, it takes this, knowing the X amount of people, playing X amount of shows, showing so much recordings, getting this out there, making so many friends. I guess there's a lot of networking aspect to it, but also having your skills on top, so you're beyond the bare minimum. and showing like not just showmanship, not just, you know, technical ability, but socialization skills, showmanship skills, all these things you can check off. And having all those little goals that you can control, checking all those boxes again and again and again. And it's almost like if you're doing all those things, you can't help but end up at the path where you're getting paid to play music. I think. I don't know. That advice seems very personal to me because that's where I'm at with this. I'm thinking to hit the fitness and health goals that I want. Right now, this is me checking the little checkbox. Well, actually, we've already checked the checkbox. The process of me checking the checkbox is probably this little talk afterwards. Thinking verbalization, saying something out loud, and having it have that special reverberation, maybe bouncing back to me. But anyway, here's my thoughts on this. Big goal, get fit. How do I do that? Well, if you can do X, Y, and Z, little workouts consistently, things about your diet, you know, trying to get your macronutrients in the right ratio, trying to really take advantage of intermittent fasting. And I say intermittent fasting, for me it's a 20-hour thing. That seems like the ultimate, not ultimate. I mean, obviously there's people that eat one meal a day and that meal is less than an hour. So technically they're fasting 23 hours. So I'm not going that far with it. I like the possibility of 2 meals. Sometimes to hit what I consider caloric markers. Basically it's like this. Eating less and expending more, yeah, that's a good way to lose weight, but it's not a good way to consistently get fit. From what I understand is you want your calories a little bit below, maintenance level. So that's what I'm going for. Hopefully that'll work. But I'm checking all these boxes. I'm doing the accountability thing, looking at it. These numbers are specifically what I have done and what I can do, and those are going up, so it feels like my health is going up. There's no injury, recovery is good, sleep is better. My sleep has been a lot better lately in a couple really interesting realms. I just need to make sure I get enough of it. Today after work I took a 2-hour nap, but it was necessary, and it was good to be able to do this workout after a 2-hour nap. I still haven't eaten, and it is, I won't even say it, it's beyond the 20-hour mark. Here's a weird thing about 20-hour fasting. Let's say I do 9 p.m. It's my last meal on like a Monday night, and then like Tuesday, my next meal is scheduled for 5 p.m. That time, right around 10 o'clock, sometimes it's as early as 9 o'clock, a lot of hunger, and it builds up. It crescendos somewhere around 10:30, and sometimes it can crescendo at 11. But there'll be definitely desire for food, and that goes till right before noon. It's really strange. Sometimes a little bit past noon, but usually right before noon, and then it kind of backs off a little bit. And sometimes by 5 p.m., not even hungry. So it's like easy to turn a 20-hour fast. If you're already at hour 20, it's really easy to turn it into 22. I'm very proud to say I've gone, not necessarily 100% on purpose, just like, oh, why not? Like 2 40+ hour fasts. So that was pretty good. Those were partially circumstance too, but the circumstances were great. If you're living a life, rarely, where you just are, so many fun, good things are happening that you don't even have time to eat, that's pretty cool. And just not having to, break up the time in the roller coaster to eat is awesome. Just being able to really, oh, I can go with this, I can go with this, I can go with this. All right, making those choices, making those things happen. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, so yeah, my advice to myself is the same thing. These little goals, the outcome, even though my outcome is only dependent upon me, it's not dependent upon other people. It's really dependent upon these little goals happening. The big goal, 2 years from now, I will be at a level I consider happily fit. I will be in a shape that when I look at myself, I will be like, okay, that looks like a man who is in good shape. I will feel like a human being that is in good shape. A lot of people get caught up on aesthetics. I don't want to get caught up in the aesthetics of the situation, but I want my aesthetics to be something, and I want to see those aesthetics. I mean, but there's also capabilities. 2 years from now, I really want to be able to just hang up from the chin-up bar with one arm and pull myself up. Boom. I want to be able to do that before 2 years from now, but yeah, I want to keep that ability for a while. Either arm, actually both arms. The whole thing about like the six-pack abs and all that kind of stuff, that would be really cool. Let's see here. Like there's aesthetics, and then there's capabilities, and there's a whole laundry list. In other words, a big list. Whoever lists out their laundry. Anyway, laundry's part of the list. I have never once said, I gotta wash this. I made a list about all the shirts and pants and shorts and socks and stuff I need to wash. No, I've never actually listed out my laundry. Maybe I'm getting that whole thing wrong. But laundry is part of a to-do list usually. And it's certainly been part of mine on occasion. Anyway, I have totally diverged on what I was saying, but I'll go back. Back to the center point is, I gave advice, which I am living my advice right now. Hopefully I'm right. I am prepared to be wrong, and if I am wrong, I am going to do something different. This is one thing in my life I'm not going to give up on. There's been other things I give up on. Mostly because they involve the ultimate variables. But this variable's me. Later it shall be.